Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, mayors, both Democrat and Republican, for coming here this evening. And thanks for the media to stick around a little bit here today, too, as we talk to our nation's mayors. Always good to have them in our nation's capital talking about the issues that matter most. Really, you're on the front lines for the American families. It's the mayors, and I know a lot of you guys are the mayors that actually are out there fighting the battles every day, be it infrastructure, be it whatever the issue is, you're out there doing every day. And, one of the key things that my administration has worked on since day one is infrastructure. Um, we have an aging infrastructure in our country. Um, our roads are in need of repair. My very uh, own hometown, uh, it needs a major infrastructure project, and one of the things that we're doing is to ensure that those federal funds become available to hometowns, to towns like mine, so the infrastructure can be put in place. Because that's the nerve that's the nerve center of these communities. You know, and the American Climate Action Act, that act basically is flowing money into your cities, broadband, roads, water, transit. And you think about broadband. You think about 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago to the time, we were on the verge of a pandemic, and when the pandemic hit, of course, schools shut down, and our students had to go online for learning, and parents were faced with a significant issue. And a lot of parents didn't have uh, Wi-Fi in their homes. They were pulling up to McDonald's parking lots for their kids to do homework, and that's just not right. That shouldn't happen in the United States. That's one of the things that we've actually been working on tremendously is broadband access. Like I mentioned, the roads, working on roads, making sure that they're being put back into great shape. The nation's highway system, if you think about it, really dates back to the 1950s, the interstate system itself. Matter of fact, I remember growing up as a kid there in Dallas, and I 20, if you guys know anything about I 20, um, it was actually built right outside my elementary school, one of my elementary schools. So it was actually built right out there. So um, I saw infrastructure being built right in front of me there as a little kid. And the most important thing is this infrastructure package, it brings jobs to every state, regardless of what color the state is, red or blue. It's bringing jobs, union paying jobs to those states. There's been a lot of talk about affordability, and um, I know that's been talked about a lot. The costs are squeezing families. We have to get more affordable units. We need to get more rental help for folks, and we need to get more assistance for first time buyers. One of the things I'd like to see, and I've heard it talked about, and I've talked about it for a long time myself, is this plan uh, where we could put kind of a stop to prospectors coming into cities, buying up these homes, and then reselling them for tremendous markup. That doesn't add to the value of the city. That doesn't add to the value of the house. So one of the things that we're proposing, I know that we can't keep a person from selling their home. That's unconstitutional. We would not, never, ever try to do that. But one of the things we're looking at is to make it where if you are a prospector, you got a 4 or 5 year commitment on that home. You buy that home, it's yours for 4 or 5 years. And you know, I think that will actually cut down on the prospecting because you have these people, and there are some folks out there who are really good at this, and there's a lot of folks in there just trying to make money at this. Who will go into a town not know anything about the city whatsoever, not even know, speaking of mayors, not even know who the mayor is, to just go buy property and then sell it. I want to put a stop to that. You have a person who comes to a city, they're going to, they do the research. They do research on the schools, they do the research on the government, the neighborhoods. They're invested into these cities. These prospectors aren't. So that's one of the things I like to see us really work on. I really want us to work hard on that. And we need to prioritize disadvantaged communities. We really need to work on that. And we need to make climate ready cities. One of the things I've also talked about infrastructure wise is the conversion to EVs, to EV vehicles. And I know you've heard people say that we're going to do it in 2030, we're going to do it in 2035. My plan basically would be we will convert to an all electric vehicle nation when the infrastructure is there. It's not there right now, and so we have to wait until the infrastructure is in place. You think about my hometown. Uh, we're a medium sized suburban Dallas, and we're not ready for that. There could be more charging stations in my hometown, but I know of one. It's got 5 charging ports. Now, if we all went to all EV vehicles, that would not work in our city. So we need to have the infrastructure ready, and that's what part of this is. And that's what I want to talk about with you guys this evening. That's what this is all about: is to make sure that we're getting you guys the funds and what you need to make this work. And I want to really sit back and listen as soon as the press leaves. I want to sit back and listen. I want to find out what's working and what barriers you're facing as mayors and what things that we can do here in Washington to eliminate that. So I will say goodbye to the press. I do thank them for coming by and staying a little bit later tonight, but I'm ready to hear from the mayors. Thank you guys very much. Thank you. Thank you.